Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing today? I hope that you had a fantastic Thanksgiving and that your build up to Christmas is calm, serene, and not too expensive. Because truthfully, what we spend for Christmas sometimes puts us in debt, and it shouldn't do that. We shouldn't give so much of ourselves that we wind up being broke at the beginning of the next year. That's a fact. So just thought I'd throw that in there. And I titled this "What's Bothering You" for a reason. It's funny how you find things as you dig deeper into yourself. And I'm sure I've told you all a million times, but I'm starting. I have started, and I do it every day, including Saturday, Sunday, even when I'm traveling. Um, unless, of course, something major gets in the way. But when I get up in the morning, I my pattern is this: I walk the dogs, I eat breakfast, I journal, I meditate, and then I read every morning. Journaling is usually between 250 and 350 words. Meditation is always 12 minutes. I may start stretching that out, but right now it's 12 minutes. And there's no mysticism to this, guys. Let me just be clear about this. When you talk about meditating, the word meditate is just focusing on something, really. And my practice now is focus on my breathing. And what's really interesting is do you ever see that movie Up? Everybody knows this scene, Squirrel. There's no such thing as complete utter focus. I mean, if you achieve that, you're not of this world anymore. Period. Because you just can't. There's no way you can. But what you can do is learn to sit with things. And really, that's where I'm taking this now. And I was just talking to Joan about this before she ran out. But this morning, while I was meditating, my scalp itched. Probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes after I started, I got an itch on my scalp. And I scratched it. I'm like, all right, get refocused now. Back in my focus. Focus on breathing, focus on breathing. And then all of a sudden, I got an itch right here. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to scratch it. So now my focus is on the itch. I said, no, 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 no. Go back to breathing. So I went back to focusing on my breathing. Shortly thereafter, I didn't feel that itch anymore. But then that little itch right inside your ear here. How many people you see do this every day, right? You get this little itch right here in your ear. That kicked in. Matter of fact, there's an itch right now forming right, right here. Um, itches appear all day long. So in that time frame, maybe I was focused on issues. I don't know. But I wound up getting one in the back of this ear too, right here. I didn't bother to scratch any of them. I instead just acknowledged, all right, so there's an itch. I went back to breathing again and thinking, breathe in, hold, whatever I was doing for that practice at that moment. And that's actually just a way of learning to focus, guys. And the funny part is that the itches all went away. I never scratched them. And then you sit down and you think about that. You go, wait a minute. So if something's bothering me and I can't do anything about it, or I don't necessarily do anything about it. Will it go away? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on what it is, right? But the fact is, not every itch in our life needs to be scratched. Not every problem in our life needs to be scratched. Sometimes you can't solve a problem by scratching it. Sometimes you just have to let the problem work its way out of your life. That's not to say that if something is really, really pronounced, that we don't deal with it. We certainly should. I'm not a should guy anymore, but we should. I mean, if it's something that is absolutely affecting the quality of our life, an itch doesn't affect the quality of your life. A lot of things don't affect the quality of our life, but we deal with them, and we put them on that proverbial front burner and say, I have to deal with this right now. I have to scratch this itch. And maybe we don't. Maybe if you left it on the back burner, if you just leave it sit where it is and acknowledge, all right, this was there and I know it's there, it'll take care of itself. But sometimes it does. People who bother us leave our lives, right? We don't even have to push them out the door. Sometimes they just leave because they're just as annoyed with you as you think you are them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be picking on you, or they wouldn't be aggravated with you, or whatever it is. So when you're working on what your mindset is day to day, just know that not everything is a big enough problem that it has to be addressed right now. Not every itch needs to be scratched. Pretty simple thought, isn't it, guys? Tough one. I was like, what? Because I've always been a scratcher. I mean, I'm also a picker. If I have a scab, I tend to pick at it. And I'm working on that too. Used to be a nail biter, stopped that practice. All of these things, everything that we do can be controlled if we want it to be. Thank you. Hat tip to a friend of mine, Rosemary Logue. Rosemary tipped me off to a book called Breathe. Hold on, I'll give you the name of the author because maybe you'll want to look at it. It's a pretty interesting book. James Nestor wrote this book called Breathe. And he talks about how breathing through your mouth can cause damage to your body because you're not filtering the air the way your system is designed to filter the air. The first place you should breathe is through your nose. And in every meditation practice and every yoga practice I've ever been in, they always say inhale through the nose. And the reason being is because there's built-in filters in your sinuses and your nasal passages. It changes the way the air, the temperature reaches your lungs. All of these things happen right here and on the way down. Really insightful book, which is one of the reasons why I've been focusing on my breathing so much lately, because I think that I can change build stronger on my physiology by breathing correctly more often. So that's sort of where I'm going with that. And that also goes to mindset too. I mean, because it's a control mechanism for you, right? The more of your life, and this is an important thing here, guys. The more of your life you can control, the better off your life will be. The more you try to control somebody else's life, the worse your life will be. Because you can't control what other people do, but you can control how you take it in, how you react to it, and whether or not it matters to you. That is control of your life. And that's where the itch and the scratch come back to, right? Does it matter? In 5 years, will that matter? If it isn't, if it doesn't, don't scratch it. Let it go. It'll go away. All right. I got a little work to do this afternoon. Pictures to follow. You'll see. Have a great day, everyone. Have a blessed Christmas. And also, if you're watching this, Wednesday morning, a friend of mine came up with a really great idea. We're going to go to breakfast somewhere. I'm not saying where. A group of us, and we're looking for people to join the group here in Irmo. And we're going to bless our waitress for the holiday season. That's all I'll say about that for now. If you want details, shoot me a message. I'll tell you more about it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share it with somebody, will you? Because that helps. All right, guys, have a great day. Love yous all.